500 up. When you pause for thought and reflect on that achievement, what do you think?
Yeah, very proud of it. Obviously, it's always tough when you're at a Premier League club at the start, trying to find your way into an unreal Bolton Wanderers side was tough, but I had belief from managers there, so kind of stuck with us, and then it went really well, and got some Premier League appearances here or there, and just enjoyed being part of a team and part of a culture that I never thought I was going to be part of, so that was great. And then Blackpool, a few ups and downs, injuries, hit, difficult, but then when we were in the Championship was good, had some good managers, and then now 9 years at Sheffield United and 372 coming off the back of the Wrexham win, and I'm awfully proud of that achievement, yeah.
When you look at perhaps the early days at Bolton and the tough competitive nature of football, and there'll be players in the academy that you were in that maybe have had to seek, other careers away from football, it perhaps puts into sharp focus just how tough an existence it can be if you don't get on and don't put your head down and graft away.
Definitely. I think all the lads who I was there or thereabouts with at the time, same when I was at Newcastle as well, there's only a handful, and it just shows how hard it is, and to stick at it and be 500 and be up there with obviously everybody else who's made them appearances, it goes to prove that I've had belief of managers, coaches, and I've also believed in myself to get where I am, and still going now, so hopefully I can carry it on for a few more years yet.
This is almost kind of a bit of a cliched question, but is there one sort of piece of advice you were given that's stuck with you, that's enabled you to focus in those times where you're wondering, am I going to play here? Do I need to move? What's going to happen around the corner? So you've persevered with it.
I think characteristics, be good in what you do and try not to change too much. Obviously, Blades have seen that for a long time, and I've said it on numerous occasions, 100%. Leave it all out there, and I think that's stood me in good stead, and everything that comes along with it is a bonus, really, and I think that's why managers have took to us. They know what they're going to get week in, week out, consistency-wise, and yeah, there might be an odd mistake in there. I'll hold my hands up that there can be, but I'm sure the next game it'll be a 6, 7, 8 out of 10, better than a 3, 4.
See, early parts of the career, moved around, came to Sheffield United, and it's what, 9th season now. Obviously, most of those 500 appearances have been here. How would you sum up that journey from League One and being involved in that side to then rocketing up Premier League football, and here we are now?
Yeah, there was always goals and achievements as a player and as a club, and I think the main goal when I first come was to get out of League One, and it took 3 years, so that was tough going. I had 3 managers in that time, so that was quick as well. But to get the promotion like we did, and how it went from there, and obviously under Chris Wilder it went amazingly well. The formation, the playing in the right wing back role, I'll always be grateful for him for that. It's carried on through. We're still playing the formation system now, so that was brilliant. And obviously open top buses, you dream of things like that as a kid, and to do it at Sheffield United and for the fans was amazing. And 372 games. I can remember some of the bad ones and a lot of the good ones, so yeah, definitely overwhelmed by it all.
Well, I realise it might sound like a daft question given the success that you and the group of players have achieved, but is there 1 or 2 specific matches within that 500 that just are that bit more memorable than the others, even throughout months of unparalleled success?
Yeah, the Arsenal and West Ham in the Premier League at home, I think they're big ones. Everyone always talks about the Leeds game, but it wasn't my best performance. It was just a massive goal at the time, so it just shows how much football can change in a heartbeat, and it happens for the lads all the time here. You can be not playing the best, but yeah, definitely Leeds, the Premier League games. And yeah, it's such a demanding and focused league by all the media, by all television. So to have a good season and get Player of the Year that year was massive for me. But yeah, probably the Premier League ones, all the wins, the 3-3 at home against Man United, Moose flying against Burnley, that was a massive game too.
How's football changed in 500 appearances?
There's a lot more social media around, there's a lot more critics. dressing rooms are different. A lot more phones are out and flicking through things. And
has that changed? Because I remember when you were sat in here before, you know, you were down with the academy lads, weren't you?
Yeah.
And they were sort of mucking about on their phones when really they should be talking to one another. And
yeah,
I think
that's a big one. I think obviously social media, you just got to be careful. You got to not read into it too much. As a player, I used to read a lot about, ratings off some of you boys as well. So, yeah, I think. But now I think the players can be looking at that, and you can get nasty comments and things like that. And that's changed a lot in the game. I think having a family helps me because it takes us away from it. But yeah, we're all men and we're all people at the end of the day. So we like to be respected, but as long as we can show that on the pitch.
Do you, as a senior player now, are you able to move away from that? Whereas if you were 21 now, it would be perhaps odd if you weren't constantly on social media.
Yeah, I think the lads now are a lot more, the way they come through the game, they're a lot more, I don't know how to put it, they have a block, they have like a safety block and a safety net, and it's nice to see the lads when they come here that they do open themselves up a little bit more and they do become part of what we are, the senior lads, and they like coming on a coffee trip or a few drinks here or there. It's good to have that because it takes them out their comfort zone as well, and they get used to being around it. And I think that's why you see the lights of McAtee shining now, and obviously Illiman's been fantastic this year and getting better and better. And Zander as well, he had to settle in quickly, come straight to the Premier League, and he's done ever so well too.
So 500 is a huge milestone. What's the next one then?
Yeah, I've just been speaking to the manager there. He came and shook my hand, and obviously my milestone is to carry on producing when called upon, being part of a team that's doing ever so well, having a successful season, and you want to play as much football as you can, but when the team's doing so well, you've just got to make sure that you're part of it in the best way possible and pushing each other. Obviously, you got to have self-belief there too, and just got to be ready when called upon more than anything really. And if I can make it into, I think 372 for Blades now, if I can get towards 400, that can be a goal, and I've got the rest of this year and next year to push for, and we'll see what happens. And
are you of the mindset, because people will ask about, do you have a plan beyond football at the age you are? And we've addressed it with Billy about 400 times in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
But are you just one of those guys that will keep going until there isn't the opportunity, or maybe the mind or the legs just aren't going?
Yeah, I think that's more. I think when you're in training and you're not feeling, if every day is a different day. I mean, I'm a bit sort of day, and that's because it's 2 days after a game. So normally I recover really quick, but at the age you do get a bit older and you do feel a bit more stress on your body. But training's changed a lot now as well. We went on about it at the start. Training was so frantic and stuff, but under this manager now, under Hecky, it's a lot of video room stuff, taking it out onto the pitch and strengths and weaknesses. So hopefully I can carry on as long as I can, and see if Sharpie gives us a call when he becomes a manager to see if I fancy doing something with him. But we'll wait and see.
Exactly, because even in not being sort of 22 or 3, you were then in the right wing back role, and the legs that you had to have for that, all that changed. So your fitness has kind of come along with the sports science, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's been the main thing. Is I always see myself as a fit midfielder, but it's high intensity running, it's doing the doggies and getting up there to support or getting back to defend. I think that's the most difficult part of it. As a striker, you just know you're going to be there chasing down balls or things like that. So I've had to come along with it with the sports science. It's so much better now, the way your body can get looked after. We do readiness scores on your phone now just to tell you how you are, and you can be pulled out of training if you need to be. So everything's gone for to look after the player and longevity of his career, and I think it's helped me along my way, and I've been in the middle of it or part of it throughout my 15, 16 years now.
Yeah, so do you kind of think that the old idea that by the time a player reaches 34 there'll be more and more players in excess of sort of 34 or 5 still playing?
I definitely do, and I think you see that now in football a lot more, and there's some of them who are carrying on now, like Jags, me mate, Sharpie obviously still scoring goals and looking fit as a fiddle. So I think the longevity will be longer. Sometimes it's about the heart and the player as well. Does he want to carry on, or does he want to finish as well? And like you were talked about there, and your body, how does it feel, your mindset, your mentality, your mental health, all that kind of stuff has to be involved too.
What would it mean then in a year of milestones to then go on and get promoted, complete the job that you've started?
Yeah, I hope so. There's still a lot of football. There's a big, we had it on the board today, a chunk of games coming up now where everybody's in and around each other. I'm hoping so that we can carry on the undefeated run that we've got. At home's a massive thing for us, and we've got all the teams to play around us at home. So everybody's chomping at the bit. I think that game the other night was massive to get the result in the 90 minutes that we did. Obviously they're a conference side, and it was a difficult game, difficult atmosphere, and yeah, we came off there. We were buzzing at the end of the game because we won, and lads got the goals that deserved them.
And well, disrespect gate then started, didn't it? There's been a bit of to and fro in social media again, eh?
Social media, like we're saying, everybody's talking about stories and stuff now and how it was, and obviously Billy's reaction after the game. And you know, Billy Sharp's like he speaks with his heart on his sleeve, and I think he said some nice things in there as well, that they're at the top of their league, they're going to go on to win it, but everything gets stirred up a little bit more and things like that. But at the end of the day, I was shaking Mark Howard's hand, wishing him all the best in the tunnel after the game, and a couple of more of the lads that I knew there as well. So things will get stirred up, but we've got to focus on the league now, and the cup games will come when they come.